Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is Will Ross. I'm a 21-year-old college student trying to achieve financial freedom. If you would please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, I would massively appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel as big as I can here in the next year. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want. If you enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate that. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build your brand, whether that's a t-shirt design, a company, a business, whatever it may be. I'm going to talk about the best ways, the most efficient ways you can build your branding to where it's visually appealing and people want to know what you do. The first thing I want to talk about is minimalism. You want it to be as minimalist as possible. In the past 2010s and now going into the 2020s, companies and their branding and designs have just really gotten shortened down and condensed to easy little symbols, easy icons, something that's easy to look at. This used to not be a thing in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s when brands would go crazy with their branding. The logo was just all types of different aesthetics. That's not really what you want nowadays. I'll throw some examples up here of some companies, businesses that have minimalized their logos to be more simplistic and I guess more appealing to the eye now that we're in the 20s. Me personally, I had to learn a lot about building a brand. I actually had an internship last summer over the marketing branding aspect of our marketing department for a Fortune 500 company, and I got to learn a lot about it. Honestly, there was a lot of stuff like color palettes and things like that you think are small but are so important to the first impression of a buyer or consumer or whoever you're working with. Which brings me to my second point, which is the color scheme. You don't want to go crazy with your colors. You want to have a good, solid, neutral color and maybe one color from the rainbow. Simply put, like I said earlier, the 80s and 90s are not the 80s and 90s anymore. You're not going to throw out blue, pink, green, orange, whatever it may be, into one logo. If you're going to be branding to a large crowd, a large community of people or servicing, you want to have a one good color and one good neutral color. If me personally, I'm a consumer, I'm going to your Instagram page, your Twitter page, your Facebook, whatever, I'm on your website, and I see that there's just a mash of colors in my face, I'm not going to want to go into it more. I'm not going to want to see more of that. And it's just something that consumers don't necessarily focus on, think about, but it's something in the back of their mind where they'd rather work with somebody that's easy and simplistic in terms of color scheming as opposed to somebody that's just throwing in colors just to throw colors in there. Some trends I'm noticing right now are blue and green are really coming up in the 2020 and 2021. People designing their Instagram pages, designing their businesses, companies, whatever they're working on. Blue and green I've found is a trend that's going on right now that really people are trying to focus on. I don't know why, that's just what I've noticed. So this is something that maybe you could take advantage of and maybe stay ahead of the times. The third thing I want to talk about is different elements to your branding image. Now, when I talk about this, I mean like an icon or shape that may be a part of your brand logo. I'll throw an example up here too. Something about having a circle or square around your logo really gets the consumer to remember that that's your brand. For example, Target and the bullseye, that's really just an easy example. I mean, it's a simple shape, but I always associate Target with that little symbol. If you can throw in a little symbol or icon like that in your logo, it'll give consumers more to look at and more to identify your brand with. This has proven to be really successful in the past, and I don't think it's going anywhere soon. That was a quick number 3, but at number 4, the last one I want to talk about is staying consistent with your branding. This is huge. Consistency is huge across businesses and companies when it comes to every aspect of business, but especially in branding. If you're building a website and you have a bunch of blue extra accents, but your main color is green, blue and green, you want to keep that blue and green color scheme going. Or if you're using squares and you're a very blocky font, blocky shapes, you want to keep that blockiness consistent throughout all of your pages and websites and branding and everything, or else consumers are not going to know what they're getting from you. For example, Home Depot, I would associate a blocky kind of font, text, shapes, whatever with, and it would be weird for me to see Home Depot use that font on their website as opposed to making an Instagram and then having something like the Walmart logo up there and using that font. That would be a little bit weird. They're not doing that because they're a Fortune 500 company, but this is just an example of why they're successful. They stay consistent and they use the same branding throughout. When I was a kid, I used to grow Instagram pages as a hobby, as a side hobby, and I wouldn't really keep the consistency in there. But now that I'm growing Instagram pages now and I'm using these key points that I'm talking about, I've noticed a huge difference. I would say a visual consistency is definitely the most important factor out of all of these 4, just because you want the consumer to identify your brand with your brand. If you go and do all these other crazy things, they're not really going to know where you're at as a company. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're still here with me, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. It really does help me out. I really want to grow this channel. I just wanted to get a quick video up this week as I may be busy in the next week or so. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.